Today could very well be my last day in parkour civilization. If I want to save the world, I'll have to risk everything. I was the one who let the parkour villain escape, and if he gets his hands on the command blocks, he'll be able to destroy the world. So, plan A, I cannot let him get to the top of parkour civilization. But it was at that moment I realized my plan might have already been over. I was down at the noob level of parkour civilization, but no matter where I looked, I saw nothing. Every building that used to be here was just gone. I could tell by the holes in the ground that a neighborhood used to be here. This was the neighborhood where I grew up in, and it's all gone. I knew that this only meant one thing. The parkour villain has already made it to the top and is using the command blocks to reshape parkour civilization. Oh man, this is not good. Well, plan A is out the window. It's time to start thinking of a new one. It's crazy to think that my entire life started in this temple. If I had never failed this one block jump at the beginning, I don't think I would have become the parkour champion that I am today. I might have just lived my life as a parkour pro, comfortable and happy. But where would be the fun in that? At least now I get a near-death experience every 5 minutes and credit for saving the world. Hopefully twice if I pull this one off. I made it up to the pro level of parkour civilization. I looked around and nothing seemed different, except for the fact that, well, the statue didn't have my head anymore. Alright, I'm gonna guess that was a personal design choice by the parkour villain himself. Just like the noob layer, everything I remember from the pro layer was gone, except this layer was different, and now there were buildings that I've never seen before. This is the spot where all of the pro houses should be, but now there's just one platform with parkour jumps on it. And not only that, the parkour jumps are identical to each other. This wasn't just a fight, this was a parkour race. I thought back to what the parkour villain said. He said that he wanted to enlighten the world with his new form of parkour. If I had to guess, I would say he did just that. All of the buildings surrounding the platform looked like prisons, but after checking every one of them, there was no one inside of them. No one was here. I couldn't help but think of two terrible ideas of what happened. Either one, the parkour villain wiped out every pro by himself, or two, he made the parkour pros fight each other. No matter what happened, the fact remains that the prison cells are empty, so that leaves me to believe that the pros are gone. But that doesn't mean that the parkour masters are. If the outcomes I believe happened were true, it makes sense. The parkour pros wouldn't stand a chance against the parkour villain, but the parkour masters know how to fight. And if they can fight, maybe there's a chance that they've been able to stay alive. I made it up to the master level of civilization. Only one more layer and bro, really? My statue got destroyed again? Alright, once I get my hands back on the command blocks, I gotta build like 50 of those. Even though I was on the master level of civilization, everything looked exactly the same as the layer below. The entire parkour city I worked so hard to make was completely wiped out, and once again replaced with a platform that had parkour race courses on it. I looked around but didn't see anybody, but that's when I realized that these prisons were different than the layer below. All of these prison cells still had doors on them. The masters might still be alive.
You just don't know when to give up, do you?
Standing directly behind me was the parkour villain himself.
I can only imagine you escaped with the help of the parkour god. That is quite unfortunate.
I wasn't expecting the fight to get here so soon, but here it was. It's time to risk everything to save parkour civilization. Alright, let's parkour race. This course right here.
I'm afraid not.
Wait, what? Why not? So now you're too scared to fight? What happened to all the stuff you were saying about willing to risk everything? Sounds to me like you think you're gonna lose.
You of all people should know that course is below people like you and I. If I were to race you, the course would be terrifying. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to use the command blocks to wipe you out for good. You can try to stop me, but it looks like your hands are full.
The parkour villain wasn't even gonna fight me. He was just gonna wipe me out with the command blocks. What did he mean when he said it looks like my hands are full? But at that moment, I heard something, and I looked over at one of the prison cells. One of the doors had opened, and standing in the doorway was a parkour master. He started jumping towards me. Hey, what's going on? Are you alright? What happened to all the other parkour masters? Are they still alive?
I'm sorry, Evbo, but the new champion has ordered me to race you in this parkour course.
He ordered you to race me. Why would you do that?
If I don't, he'll race me himself. And I don't want to end up like the others.
Then don't, okay? Look, as soon as you challenge me to a parkour race, one of us will die. And you're not gonna beat me, so why don't you just give me time to defeat the parkour villain, and then we'll all be okay. Just don't challenge me and trust me, I can do this.
I'm sorry, Evbo, but racing you seems like my best option to stay alive. I challenge you to a parkour race.
And just like that, after those words were said, I could do nothing. Both of us were locked into a parkour race, meaning once one of us finishes the course, the other one someone will die, no matter what. This is exactly what the parkour villain wanted. He introduced this illegal form of parkour, and now he gets to watch and laugh as I fight to the death with the people that I'm trying to save. The worst part is that the parkour villain knows that these parkour masters are no match for me. All he wants is to watch me suffer as I eliminate my friends. After doing the last 2 Neo jumps, I knew the parkour race was over. Part of me wanted to just stop right here before the last jump and let the parkour master win, but I knew I couldn't. If I ended my journey right here, then no one would be able to stop the parkour villain, and many more lives would be lost. After I made the final jump of the parkour race, the parkour master was gone, and the fight was over. But the fight against the parkour villain hadn't even begun. If I don't get to the top of parkour civilization quickly enough, the villain will use the command blocks to delete me from this world, and I'll have no chance to save these people. Which means there's no time to waste. The last time I saved the world, I actually had a plan. But now I have no plan, no blocks to fight with, and I just realized I have no way up to the top. Oh, I'm so done for. I didn't even realize that my champion boots were gone, and only the parkour champion can see the path up to the top. But that doesn't mean it's not here. Oh no, I have a really bad idea. Okay, I'm 99% sure this is where the first jump starts. If I get this wrong, well, it was a good life. I jumped into the air expecting to be falling, but I wasn't. The path to the top of parkour civilization was here. I just couldn't see it without my champion boots on. If this idea didn't work, saving the world would have been impossible. But now, it's just slightly less impossible. Oh man, I have to do so many invisible jumps. Oh, this is not gonna be easy. Only thing I could do was rely on my memory of the parkour course up to the top. Luckily, I've made this journey numerous times over the course of my life, but still, jumping on invisible blocks is very much not preferred. Only a few more jumps and I was inside the parkour temple. But with how long this journey has been taking, I feel like I could be deleted in any second. After all, the parkour villain does specialize in racing. I made the final jump and I was inside the parkour temple. With no sign of the parkour villain, I can only assume he made it to the top, which means this could be the end for me. Well, if I randomly disappear, I guess I get to add an invisible parkour course to my list of accomplishments. But I wasn't gone yet. I scaled the temple until I was at the very top. He must be on the command blocks, right? There's no way he... Wait, what is that? On the other side of the parkour temple, there was some structure built, and the parkour villain was waiting for me. So, I take it there's a reason I'm still alive? What, did you want to get one last supervillain monologue before you use the command blocks to wipe me out?
I was never going to defeat you like that. I just needed you to follow me. Now, you will experience the true pain of a parkour race.
I now realized what the structure in front of me was. It was a parkour race, and it would be my last chance to save parkour civilization. Some part of me was relieved, because if I was gonna be deleted by the command blocks, well, I had no plan to stop that. But now, the course of action is simple. Win the parkour race.
This is without a doubt the most difficult race in parkour history. I want you to feel the sense of dread as you watch me get closer and closer to the finish line, knowing no matter how hard you try, you will never catch up to me. I commend you for making it this far, but I cannot entertain this any longer. Let's begin.
This was it. The hardest parkour race in history, against one of the most fearsome parkour fighters of all time. There's nothing to save me now. Miss one jump and it's over. Make the jump slower than the parkour villain and I die. Meaning I can't hold anything back in this fight. Maybe I'm not good enough to beat the parkour villain, but someone once told me that as long as you can parkour, there is always a way. The parkour race had begun. I did the first 3 jumps without stopping, but the parkour villain had matched my speed. This race was only gonna get more difficult, and the only way I could get a lead on the parkour villain is by doing the most difficult jumps with virtually no stopping. I barely stayed on after the ice block jump, and now it was time for a chain neo, which the parkour villain did effortlessly. I made the chain neo myself and made the drop down to the ladder. It was time to speed things up. I made a 4.5 block jump into a 6.5 block jump onto a candle. Now was my time to take the lead. I quickly made the 2 block neo jump and immediately went onto the glass jumps. The parkour villain told me I lost the battle with him before because of my inability to risk everything I had. But right now, in this battle, I wasn't holding anything back. I stopped at a difficult neo jump. I needed momentum for this. I looked back and I had a sizable lead against the parkour villain. I could do this. I went backwards 1 jump and used the momentum to make the 3 block neo jump. This was my time. This was my... And that's when my heart dropped. The feeling of hope I had in this battle came and went in seconds. My side of the parkour battle wasn't finished, and the end to the race was just a few jumps away. I was set up from the beginning. The parkour villain never intended on me finishing this race. He got what he wanted, and that was to make me suffer. All I could do from this point on was watch as my life slowly came to an end. This was how I was gonna go out. In a few jumps, the parkour villain would make it to the platform, and my life would cease to exist. To be honest, with everything that's happened in my life, I didn't think I would make it this far. With every battle and every parkour course I've had to do, I always thought that a jump would be my last. And you know what? I've made some pretty impossible jumps, which is why I'm not gonna leave Parkour Civilization by just standing still. I'm gonna end this journey with one final jump. So, this is what the end feels like. Wow, feels weird. It feels like I'm still alive. No, but I'm probably dead, right? Yeah, I'm definitely dead. I mean, I jumped into the void. How would I not be dead?
You are very much still alive.
In that moment, I heard a voice that I've heard one time in my life before. It was the voice of the parkour god. Whoa. Did you say I'm alive? Wait, how is that even possible?
Why did you jump?
Why did I jump?
You knew there was no block to land on, yet you jumped anyways.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I had no options, and didn't you hear my inner monologue? I kind of wanted that to be my last jump in Parkour Civilization.
That's not it. You were prepared to sacrifice your life for Parkour Civilization, and perhaps I should do the same.
I'm sorry, Mr. Parkour God, but if I'm still alive, does that mean there's still a way I can go back and save the world?
You may leave anytime you want. Just fail a jump and you can go back.
I can go back and save everyone. Thank you, Parkour God. I promise I won't waste this chance.
So eager to leave already? I guess my golly words are of no value to you.
No, that's not it. Sorry, I thought you were done. Please continue.
Throughout my life, I have never bothered to interfere with the events of Parkour Civilization. I was afraid of what might happen if I were to introduce my power to the world.
Wait, but you gave me the champion boots last time I needed to save the world. Didn't you interfere then?
I was merely a messenger. The old man wanted his boots to go to you, and all I did was deliver them.
So why tell me all of this, and why bring me here?
Because I have found my successor. You have convinced me that there are those in this world worthy of wielding my power, and you will continue my legacy by inheriting this power and passing it on to future generations.
Whoa, okay, hold on. You said I will inherit your power? What power is that?
You will become Parkour.
I'm sorry, did you just say become Parkour? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm a godly figure that rarely shows up. I'm not supposed to make any sense.
And just like that, the parkour god vanished into thin air. I'm gonna inherit the parkour god's power? What does this even mean? Okay, I guess now's not the time to think about it too much. All that matters now is that I can finish this race and save the world. From the beginning, I've always had to jump to survive. And well, I'm still jumping. Oh, how did I just do that? Did the parkour god just put the ladder here for me? Oh, I am still alive. I'm still alive. How is this possible? Wait, netherite boots? No, I'm the one who made the ladder.
What? That's impossible.
No, it is definitely possible. Now, let's see how this works. All right, just places I go. This is what parkour should feel like. Okay, what do we have here? I think I can build all that. I can see the finish line. I'm not giving up now. Come on, just 5 more jumps. Let's do this. Oh, it's over. Oh my gosh, it's over. Oh, that one really came down to the wire. I kind of wish someone saw that 360 at the end. That was kind of cool. Oh, my body is sore. My shoulder kind of hurts from that ladder clutch. Should it be hurting? I thought I'm the parkour god now. I feel like I shouldn't be able to feel pain. Can I even die? Should I test it out right now? No, that's a terrible idea. I should not test that out.
Man, why do the command blocks have to be a 4-block jump?
It's not that hard. Come on, you'll get used to it. Besides, you're the new parkour champion. You should be doing that in your sleep. Alright, let's see how this attempt went. Nope, you still messed it up again. Okay, so this time you built barely half a house, and it's also like 50 blocks up in the air. That's fine, don't sweat it. Not everyone gets it on their first try.
I don't get it. I'm thinking of a house, and it's not building the house. Why are these things so hard to use?
Yeah, it's more of an imagination thing. I don't know, you just gotta think harder. I mean, I got it on my first try.
Yeah, of course you did, bro. So what are you gonna do now that the world doesn't need saving anymore? What are you supposed to do as the parkour god?
That's the thing. I don't have to do anything. If the world needs saving, I'll be there to save it. But for now, I just want to parkour. I've been a parkour noob. I've been a parkour pro. I've been a master. And I've been a parkour champion. And every one of those roles came with expectations about where I should go or what I should do. But now, the only one to decide those things for me is myself. So, all I'm gonna do is parkour, and if that leads me back to saving parkour civilization again, then so be it. From now on, the only path I'm following is my own. I make my own jumps.